Okay. Yeah, so one of the questions we got was, what if you weren't able to get a mentor? And so as long as kind of you've been making an effort to engage in other like ways of the competition, so that's like coming to workshops, staying active in Slack, and even just submitting your project, you should be good. Yeah. And then another question we got was, are there any examples of submissions? And so we don't have any to show you guys, but our just advice is to just be creative with it and kind of showcase your project.
Yeah, this is like the first year we're running this competition. So I'm sure you can kind of look at demo videos or things like that of, major companies when they're announcing products. But yeah, as Anna said, just try to keep it creative, keep it short and to the point.
And then that was it for these submitted questions. So
we can go to part 3 of the rubric. Yeah.
Okay.
The submission. Okay, so part 3 is like the design history file. So the point of this is really for you to show the entire process from start to finish. So obviously you're going to be presenting your final product to the judges, but the judges want to see how you incorporated feedback or, went out to users and then really saw how were they using the product, and then you use that to improve. And we want to see that like prototyping process. So that includes like the timeline. So how were you able to progress it from start to finish? Maybe you use like mentor feedback, or mentors taught you something or taught you some framework to use, and then you incorporated it into your project and you made it, better with that inclusion. And the rationale behind the key design choices is like the major features. Why did you decide to include that? How did that exactly target the end user, and how is that going to help them use your product, or how is that going to help solve the problem that you identified? So questions in the chat. Kept adding that. Yeah, definitely, Bhakti. That definitely works. Yeah. Just make sure like you have everything dated so it's like clear, how you actually progressed. Yeah. Were there any other like specific questions about the history file, or was that like the major question? One more, okay. Into the third part of the submission. No, GitHub pages should work perfectly. Actually, that's even more ideal because everything's hosted on GitHub. There's no other part to the submission, so that should work perfectly. Yeah, of course. Did anyone else have any other questions, maybe about part 1 or part 2 of the submission? If a minor isn't able to get a parent to attend the judges meeting, are you like a team of one, or would any of like your other team members be able to ask their? Oh, okay, team of one. I think if you could Slack DM us or write us an email, we can try to get one of our advisors to sit in the meeting. Yeah. Azure. Is that going to be a problem? No, that definitely won't be a problem. If if any of the codes on Azure, if you could just upload that code on GitHub, that would be great. But hosting it shouldn't be an issue. How technically advanced should the submission be? Is it okay if there are features we design, but we're not able to implement completely? This is actually a really great question. So as many of you know, maybe you had, some idea at the beginning and then you were unable to, completely implement each part of your solution. That's okay. That's expected. To be able to really design a project from scratch in 1 year is really difficult, especially if, this is the first time that you're starting to learn some of these, frameworks to work with. So I think that's okay. Just make sure that, within the design history file or within the short answer prompts at the beginning, you kind of outline what your envisioned project looks like and then go through exactly what you could do and then include some points, maybe what would you be able to do in the future that you would actually be able to implement those. Yeah, no, definitely. That's expected. Yeah. To be able to complete a entire project takes like a lot more than just, 7-8 months or even a year. And how technically advanced should the submission be? So in terms of technically advanced, whatever you have done, I think that's perfect. I don't think we're really looking for you to make it more technically advanced than it is already. Just show, again, in the design history file, what did you start from day one and then how did you improve it? Like if mentors taught you something or maybe you learned something in the workshop, include like how you made it more advanced and you added more features. I hope that answers your question, but please like include another point if that didn't. Samantha Marie, will there be a second round of this competition next year where we could participate with a new idea? Just wondering because I have lots of ideas I would love to explore. Yeah, definitely. We want to run this for many years to come. We've really loved interacting with all of you this year, and we're really engaged with the competition. Yeah, we would definitely want you to participate with a new idea, or we might make you like indicate, okay, this is an idea we've had from the past, just to keep it like a level playing field. And yeah, that's great that you have like lots of ideas. That's exactly what we want. Next question. When you say include overview of user interface and experience of your team's final prototype, what does that mean? Okay, that's a great question. So the user interface is, how does the product that you've designed look to the user? And for example, the target user you might have might be, elderly people. Then you need to reflect that within your design. So maybe, to keep it accessible, the buttons are larger, or you use specific colors such that, even people that are colorblind can use your interface. Basically, just include some detail of how you designed your product to fit for the target market. I hope that makes sense. And then experience of your team's final prototype. So that just means like user experience is like how easy it is to use your product. So hopefully that means that there's no bugs and it's a smooth experience, very fast, so that there's not long loading times and things like that. So I think mainly for judges to really see the user experience, that's exactly why we created the meeting. But if there's anything you wanted to include of how you actually sped up your product, or if you took steps to make your user experience better, we just want you to include that so the judges know about that. Okay, awesome. And then Samantha, I think you mean is not responding. Could you just confirm? Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, please let us know. If you want to Slack DM me, I can reach out to your mentor. If you want another mentor, we do have some mentors that haven't been matched, please let us know. But I think the first step would be for us to reach out to your mentor, because you've probably had a long relationship with them. Yeah. Does anyone else have any questions? Did anyone want to meet on with a director, like one-on-one? Maybe if you have like specific project questions that maybe you're not comfortable like sharing with the group, that's okay too. Okay. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, how is everyone's project going, by the way? I know it's a little bit difficult that like because we're all remote, but oh, when will the judges meeting be held? So it'll be scheduled differently per group, but it'll be between June 1st to June 16th. Yay, that's awesome. Yeah. Don't worry if you aren't able to build something. We're not really looking for, a final product. We just want to see growth from, day one to now. Yay, that's awesome. Yeah, don't worry if you're a little behind. That's good that it's going well though.
But yeah, if you guys ever run into any issues or have any questions, feel free to Slack DM any one of us or any of us directors. Like, we're very quick to respond. So yeah, anything, whether it be about your project, submission, or any issues with a mentor as well, we're happy to help out. So
Yeah.